What's going on, everyone? Happy Saturday to everyone. Hopefully, everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy. If you had to take a COVID test, hopefully you have tested negative. If you did test positive, I hope you have a full and speedy recovery with no long COVID issues. It is now time for a wastewater update video for Saturday, October 14th, 2023. Taking a look here, we're going to start off with the CDC website, then we're going to switch over to Wastewater Scan. We'll probably bounce back and forth quite a bit because not only is COVID still concerning in a lot of areas, we're starting to see a concerning level of norovirus set in. And it's the start of flu season, so we want to see what's going on with that as well. So let's start with the CDC website. If this is the first time you've seen one of my wastewater updates, couple things. First off, subscribe to my channel down below. Would be happy to have you as a subscriber. And second of all, let me explain what all these different colors mean on the map. There's several of them. First off, in the white, that's news sites. There's 120 of them. Then you see this dark shade of blue, which is 0 to 19% COVID detected. That's really low levels of COVID. That's 50 sites. That's not good to see that number low. I'll explain why in a moment. 20 to 39% COVID detected, slightly lighter shade of blue, 245 sites. 40 to 59% COVID detected, which is at this this really light shade of blue, that's 360 sites. That's moderate COVID entering to moderate levels. Moderate to high, 60 to 79%, this orange color, that's 292 sites. Then we have this 80 to 100%, that's red. That's a really high level of COVID. It's at 107 sites. And you can see here, these numbers, these higher levels, they are dropping. But what you do not see here on the right is all of these gray sites. West Virginia is primarily gray. Arkansas is mostly gray, as is Louisiana, New York City, D.C. And then there's a whole bunch more sprinkled in between and mixed throughout the country. Gray sites are sites that did not report to the CDC. So because of that, we can suspect any of these numbers could be higher, but we could suspect with COVID levels dropping, at least not everywhere, some places are still rising, with COVID levels dropping, this number of low sites at 50 is likely underdone. I would have to assume there's at least a few more within these gray areas, and the same could be said for any one of these categories. Alrighty, let's today start off in the Northeast, we'll then make our way south, and then go west. So starting off in the Northeast today, we'll do Maine first, then we're going to switch over to Wastewater Scan for a little bit because, of course, Boston, it's always best to go with Wastewater Scan. So take a look at Kennebec, Maine, and you can see here, 19,000 population, real small site. It is moderate but dropping at this time. Then we come down closer to Cumberland County, and we're just going to quickly go through some of these sites. You can see there's two of them that are red, detecting high levels of COVID. Here's a bigger site, 65,000 population. That is in the moderate levels. Then we come over to Grafton, New Hampshire, 7,000 population, dropping at this time. Another Grafton, 11,000 population. It's at high levels, but look at this. It is now starting to drop a little bit. We can also take a look in Vermont. And mind you, with Vermont, we'll probably take a look at the wastewater scan. In fact, let's just do that because these sites are not updating all that frequently. And first off, on Wastewater Scan, I want to show you two things. Here's the norovirus map. You can see here. See this listed here? High. There's high norovirus levels across a good majority of the country right now, but mainly in the southeast. The southeast is doing worse, but you can see here, almost every region has a few relatively high norovirus sites. And then COVID throughout the country is in medium right now is what it's saying. It says downward trend and medium concentration in the last 21 days. So what we want to look at right now, we want to come back up here to New England, and let's take a look at Montpelier, Vermont. And remember, Montpelier, Vermont is relatively important because I'm going to have to move myself to the right. You might see me move back and forth quite a bit because CDC data is on the right, this data is on the left. Remember in my pandemic update video recently, just about a week ago, we showed how there was a rapid rise there? There was, but now look at this. It's starting to drop a little bit. That's a pretty big drop for just one update. We'll have to see if that gets corrected whatsoever. It may not, Maybe it's legitimately dropping. I think they probably have peaked. But just that drop, it seems pretty significant. Also, take a look here. Influenza levels, low. RSV is starting to rise. And then we come down here, norovirus. Norovirus is not a big concern in the Montpelier area right now. Now let's go over to Burlington, Vermont, where we saw that the data was not updating on the CDC website. And we can see here, COVID, it is rising at the Burlington wastewater site. Influenza is low. RSV is starting to rise. And when we take a look at norovirus, norovirus levels at this time are low. Now continuing on with wastewater scan, we can see here that in Boston, it is coming up high RSV, high COVID, and high norovirus. I forgot to mention at the start of the video, RSV is also something that we get concerned about at this time of year as well, because the levels start rising when the weather starts getting cooler. Reminder, folks, there is now an RSV vaccine out there that you can go out and get. I believe it's for all ages now, right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but the point is there is now an RSV vaccine. I'm seeing some people who are not kids, who are adults, saying, hey, I just got my RSV vaccine. So, yes, if you can get it, go out and do so. COVID here, the overall trajectory was upward, but take a look here. It is starting to drop a little bit in the Boston area. Influenza levels are low. RSV, it's coming up as high, and it is still rising. And norovirus, wow, a rapid uptrend in norovirus at this time. Continuing on with wastewater scan, let's do one of the New York sites. Let's go to Oswego, New York. You know, the area that gets a lot of snow in wintertime from Great Lakes. And taking a look here, Oswego, it's still coming up high levels of COVID, but honestly, the overall trajectory is now downward. Low RSV, low levels of influenza. HMPV is not an issue. Norovirus, it is starting to rise some, so that's something we will have to keep an eye on. Now let's go back to the CDC website and take a look at New York, because we're not going to go through many of these sites. I mean, you could just look here. There, I'll just randomly go through some sites. Here we go. Erie County, New York. You can see that is rising at this time. It's still in the red. Let's go down here. Livingston, New York. It's rising once again. It's in the orange. It is pretty clear. Western New York right now, the transmission of COVID, the spread of COVID, it is really high right now. I don't care what New York State numbers show for cases, hospitalizations even, because as we know, New York State just took away the ICU numbers. Clearly, there is transmission. You don't have to be hospitalized from COVID to end up with long COVID. We all know that at this point. Look at this Erie County site. Wow. Rapidly going upward. So this is relatively concerning in Western New York at this time. Monroe County going up. Look at all these red sites. And I really can't show you New York City today because, well, New York City, for whatever reason, is coming up all gray. We can come down here to New Jersey, and there are some high sites in New Jersey. Ooh, Morris. This site right here, not liking this. This one's rapidly going up. The other one was dropping a little bit. Let's come further south in New Jersey. Somerset, New Jersey, 7,000 population, and dropping at this time, so that's good to see. But again, high levels are not good to see. Pennsylvania, Lackawanna County, Pennsylvania, high but dropping at this time. Center County, Pennsylvania, there's two sites. We can only see one of them. This is the smaller site, and it is dropping at this time, but I suspect that's going to turn around soon. It's football weekend up at Penn State. Southeast Pennsylvania, still high levels, but dropping at this time. How about Delaware? What's going on there? Sussex County, Delaware, small population, dropping. Here's another Sussex County that's moderate, and this one's rising. So the smaller one was high, and the bigger site is moderate, but again, it is rising. Virginia, what's going on with you? Virginia, here's Roanoke, 300,000 population, low and dropping at this time. How about Gulford, North Carolina? This is coming into the Greensboro area, 135,000 population, dropping at this time. Coming down to Cumberland, North Carolina, 151,000 population, dropping at this time. Now we're coming down near Charlotte. A lot of these sites have not updated. Ugh. Wish more sites would report to the CDC, but it is what it is. Here's a site that is high at this time, and it has leveled off to slightly started dropping. South Carolina, I'm seeing low levels. This is good news. You are well past your peak from the summer wave, and you have dropped substantially at these sites, but we have to keep watching here because Here's Beaufort. Beaufort, 20,000 population, was dropping. Now it's starting to rise again. See how it goes right down to an individual community? It doesn't only go state by state, county by county, town by town. It goes right down to your neighborhood. Maybe your neighborhood is currently seeing an outbreak. Like, for example, we just saw some other places in South Carolina that are rapidly dropping, but then we come down to southern South Carolina and it's still rising. For Atlanta, we need to go back over to the wastewater scan website because it's just going to be updating more frequently, hopefully more frequently on that. And let's just go to Clayton, right in metro Atlanta area. This is 294,000 population. You can see here, COVID was dropping for quite some time. Now it's starting to rise a little bit again. Influenza's low. RSV did rise, and now it's dropping. And it's not just one of those one update drop. This is a multiple update drop, so that is good to see. And Norovirus, this is not good at all. Wow. Norovirus is just rapidly rising. Matter of fact, Norovirus is just exploding at this wastewater site. Let's take a look at another Atlanta site. How about we go a little bit further north, up into the Roswell area, which is a suburb of Atlanta. And we can see here COVID, it's been dropping. Influenza is low. RSV is starting to rise. But what we want to check a look at here is, yes, Norovirus. It's starting to rise. The overall trajectory, it's rising here as well. So this is not good. We are seeing concerning levels of norovirus in the south. And let's continue our trek south. Let's do Florida. And I think for Florida, we will do this wastewater scan website. Let's go to the Eastern Water Reclamation site here in Orange County, Florida. And look at this. It is dropping at this time. That's good to see. Influenza is low. RSV, this is not good. This is a multi-update rise. And again, norovirus, it's medium here, but it's really starting to rise. So this is not good. And by the way, there's no Mpox detected here either. Let's go closer to Disney World. I know one of these is Disney World. Here is Southwest Orange County. Let's see what's going on there. And dropping at this time for COVID, influenza is low. RSV is low. There was an Mpox case detected back on September 12th. I did tweet about this, I believe. And norovirus, wow. Norovirus at this time is exploding. That's not good to see. Let's go down into southern Florida. Is norovirus exploding there? Let's go to South Miami, because this is coming up relatively high still. Well, medium for COVID. It's dropping. It's flattened a little bit, so we'll have to watch that. And yes, RSV is rapidly rising. Wow, since September. Low levels of influenza, HMPV, no Mpox. And norovirus, while it's showing up flat here with a small rise, it is in the high levels at this time. So that's not good. And that's somewhere we constantly see a lot of norovirus. I don't know if it has to do with the cruise ships docking. I don't know what the deal is there, but constantly I noticed that there is some high norovirus levels there. Let's take a look at Birmingham, Alabama. What is going on for you? Village Creek. And in Village Creek, we can see COVID. It's medium at this time. It's been dropping. Influenza has dropped. RSV is low at this time, starting to rise though. And wow, norovirus has been high here for a long time. Had a huge rise in August going into September. The overall trajectory now was starting to trend down a little bit, but on the most recent updates, it's starting to go up again. No Mpox detected here as well. And let's continue our way westward. Let's go down to Texas. Now, we're going to keep with this wastewater scan site for this. And we can see in Texas, COVID is coming up high at this time. And wow, this is Garland, Texas. This specific site in general. Yeah, not sure what's going on here. Maybe there's a new variant showing up, because overall, as you know, the case numbers in Texas, if you saw my pandemic update yesterday, the case number in Texas are dropping. Take a look at this. Wastewater here at this site, it is rising. This is not good to see. This is a rapid rise. Influenza is low. RSV is low. Mpox is low. But again, look at norovirus. It is rising at this time. Let's do a couple more sites in Texas, then we will go back to the CDC website and do the Great Lakes. Let's go down to Woodlands. This is down near Houston, I believe. And taking a look here at this site, you can see there it goes. A small population. COVID is high but dropping. RSV, it's low but rising. I think RSV is going to go to moderate pretty soon if that should continue. And the overall trajectory for norovirus since September is up, but take a look here. It had a rapid rise, then it dropped, then it started to go back up again. So that's why I'm saying the overall trajectory, because you see October 9th, it was higher than it was on September 6th, but it does show that it is dropping a little bit on the most recent update. We can hope that trend continues. And let's do one more Texas site. Let's go down here by the Mexico border, and let's see what's going on here. And you can see here, COVID low, influenza is rising, RSV is low, no Mpox, but norovirus, the overall trajectory, is upward. All right, going back to the CDC website, let's do the Great Lakes now. We're just going to quickly go through some Ohio sites. Carroll County, Ohio, is rising. How about Franklin County? Franklin is moderate, dropping at this time. That's Columbus. Then we come down to Butler. We're coming into the Cincinnati area. And we can see here, Cincinnati, it is rising, except for this Hamilton site. It's good to see that dropping. How about up closer to Cleveland? This site is rising at this time. How about closer up here to Toledo? Lucas County. Rising once again. Not good to see. So again, Ohio's another state that's been reporting case drops. But we're still seeing wastewater rising at some of these sites. And I would like to think those sites are up to date with wastewater. Taking a look at Chicago, not terribly concerning at this time. Chicago is actually dropping at this time. Here's their biggest site. It has over 1.2 million population, and you can see it is dropping at this time. Here's another site, Kendall, 13,000 population. That is rising at this time. Now let's go down into like rural Illinois Christian. Moderate and rising at this time. Indiana, what's going on with you? Indiana, Hamilton, Indiana is rising at this time. And I believe we can only see one site in Detroit. Yeah, here we go. Macomb County, 140,000 population. It is flat at this time. Let's go down to St. Louis. What's going on with you? St. Louis, 451,000 population and holding flat at this time. And then we come down, just randomly going through here, Callaway, 41,000 population, moderate and rising at this time. Then we come a bit more west, and we can see here Plate Clay, 12,000 population. That was still rising. Another one's dropping. So pretty much a mixed picture here, although here's a bigger site. Cass, Jackson, Johnson, 490,000 population, moderate but dropping at this time. Now let's take a look at Nebraska. Douglas County is dropping at this time. Here's a site that's high down here, Hall. And wow, it was starting to drop, and now it's going even higher. 52,000 population there. Let's go up north, and then we're going to go to the west coast. Taking a look here in Minnesota, not terribly concerning. A lot of these sites do not update all that often, just randomly going through here. We do see some dropping. Dodge is dropping. Then we come up here to Otter Tail. And this one, it's dropping a little bit. It's more so flat. It's a small wastewater site. What's going on in Wisconsin? Ooh, not good. Seeing some Wisconsin sites that are rising, that were already in the high. Columbia, this one is rising at this time. That's not good to see. Grant, it's very high, but it is starting to drop. Now making our way west. Colorado, what's going on there? Colorado, yeah, not too concerning at this time. I mean, we're seeing mainly dropping. Here's one that's not dropping, Broomfield. This one is rising. We'll probably come back to you in a second on wastewater scan. I think we can. And taking a look in Utah here, Salt Lake City, Utah is flat at this time. Let's make our way up here to Oregon because we cannot look at Oregon on the wastewater scan website. Here's Lane. You can see Lane is dropping at this time. And just randomly going to Polk is dropping at this time. Oregon, wow. You guys are not actually doing that bad at this time. Coos, look at this. A rapid drop for you. I like seeing that. And let's go up here by the Washington border. Gladstop? I think I'm saying that correct. Gladstop? And 11,326 population. I think this is the first time we've ever clicked on this site. Maybe it's one of the newer sites. No? It's been there for a while. I don't know why we've never clicked on it in the past. Now, let's go back to the wastewater scan site because, as you know, if you've been following my videos long enough, we have to refresh this. If you've been following my videos long enough, for California, you have to do the wastewater scan site. You just have to. They update more frequently. But first off, let's go back to Denver, Colorado. I want to see what's going on here with your levels of different viruses, because you had a significant amount of travel for Indigenous People Weekend. I saw some pictures of your airport that were just insanity. So COVID, it is rising again. Influenza is low. RSV is low. HMPV is low. Norovirus, not doing too bad at this time. And now let's go out to California. Then we will go up to Washington. And for Washington, again, we'll probably have to go back to the CDC website for that. So let's do a couple stops here. Let's go down to Los Angeles. Los Angeles, by the way, is not doing all that bad at this time. COVID is dropping. Influenza is dropping. RSV is low. HMPV is low. Mpox not detected. And norovirus is dropping at this time. And this does match weight. This does match the cases and hospitalizations, because we've been seeing that drop at this time. How about San Francisco? Let's go to Oceanside, San Francisco. Oh, this does not look good. COVID's starting to rise again. Influenza has dropped. RSV, it had a big rise, then dropped. Now it's trying to rise a little bit. Overall trajectory since the start of September, end of August, it is upward, but I'm not terribly concerned just yet, even though it does say high. HMPV is starting to rise. Norovirus, not good. Again, another overall trajectory, which is upward, and Mpox is not being detected at this time. And let's do one more stop in California, shall we? How about we come out here to Sacramento? What is going on with you? Sacramento has medium levels of COVID at this time. Influenza, it is low at this time. RSV levels are low. HMPV is low. And look at this. Oh my. This is the first time I've noticed this. You have had multiple detections of Mpox back in September and late September. And norovirus is high, and it is starting to rise again. So 3 detections in the Sacramento area of Mpox. And since we just saw that, let's just take a look at Davis, California. I want to see what's going on here. Are you also seeing an Mpox detection? Nope, no Mpox detection here. Norovirus is medium. RSV is low. HMPV is low. COVID is medium, dropping at this time, and we're also seeing influenza dropping at this time. All right, going back to the CDC website. This is the BioBot website, by the way. I clicked on it by mistake. BioBot, they're in a transition phase. I don't know what's going to go on there, whether this is going to update again. Normally, we would have started our videos with BioBot, but we didn't today because, again, BioBot, the national picture here, the 4 regions, is not updating. All right. We want to take a look at Washington, because I had thought there were some Washington sites on Wastewater scan. I wasn't seeing them. Pierce is moderate but rising at this time. Jefferson, moderate but dropping. Then we come up here to Island, is moderate but dropping. Grant is dropping and low at this time. And just randomly going through here, you can see here we do have some dropping sites. This one, Thruston, hope I'm saying that correctly. You're 119,000 population. You're entering to moderate levels now, so this is relatively concerning, and it's a pretty significant rise. And finally, we will come down here to Arizona, and then also go to the Las Vegas area, and you can see here moderate but rising, and Las Vegas looks like Clark, Nevada, not updating. It's saying that you are in moderate levels. Alrighty, folks, I know I missed a few states, but as you can see here, there are some gray sites. And any states I did miss, we will do in future pandemic updates. That does it for this week's wastewater update. Maybe we'll do another one next week and go back to doing these weekly. I don't know. Everything is in such transition right now. It's ridiculous. If you like this video, I know it was a long video today. Sorry for that. I wanted to get to as many sites as possible. I know I didn't give as much time to the West Coast as I did to the South and the other areas. Remember, we had to take a look at those norovirus levels, which is getting concerning in the South. During future pandemic updates, I will definitely include some more wastewater scan sites in California, because there are just so many of them. I realize we also missed Kansas today as well. So we will get some more sites in future pandemic updates. I don't want these videos to go an hour long. So, anywho, that's all for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel down below. If you know anyone that needs to see these updates and the data that I provide, by all means, share this with them. I will see you all again next time. Until I see you again next time, stay safe, everyone. Have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for watching.